Shalom, 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 shalom. This is Yael coming at you again with another video. I will be coming from out of the book of Judges, chapter 2. I will be coming from out of the King James Version. And I want to read to you what I think is the plight of our people. This is nothing new. As I said, there's nothing new under the sun. The reason that we failed to the state which we failed is because we continued the wickedness of our ancestors. One thing I love about the scriptures is Yah reveals our ancestors in good light and also in bad light. He shows us when we were righteous, and he shows us in our wickedness. There's no hiding it. Our ancestors did some things that was very wicked, but it's also recorded that our ancestors, how they lived and how Yah prospered them when they was righteous before his face. But I want to read to you this account here in the book of Judges, how Israel disobeyed the Creator and turned their backs on him. Over the years, they started to transgress. They started to drift away. And I want to read this to you. I'm going to start at verse 10. And this is Judges chapter 2, verse 10. As I said before, I am coming from the King James Version. And also, all that generation were gathered unto their fathers, meaning that generation died. The previous generation died. And it said, there arose another generation after them, which knew not Yahweh, nor yet the works which he had done for Israel. So this new generation came up that was not intimate with Yahweh, did not know Yahweh, did not reverence Yahweh. They didn't know any of the accounts of how Yahweh dealt with the generation before them. And it said, and the children of Israel did evil in the sight of Yahweh and served Baalim. And they forsook Yahweh Elohim of their fathers, which brought them out of the land of Egypt, and followed other gods, the gods of the people that were around about them, and bowed themselves unto them, and provoked Yahweh to anger. That is what we're dealing with today. Many of our people are continuing in this very sin right here. Many of our people have aligned themselves with the gods of the people that surround them. They have adopted the ways of the nations, and they have adopted their form of worship, and they have adopted their God unto themselves and have made their God become their God. So we can see this caused great jealousy from the heart of Yah. Because Yah said, I am a jealous God. I'm a jealous power. You are my people. And our ancestors drove Yahweh to wrath, to great anger, because of this great transgression and sin. And we are continuing the very transgression and sin today. Verse 13, and they forsook Yahweh and served Baal and Ashtaroth. And the anger of Yahweh was hot against Israel. And he delivered them into the hands of spoilers that spoiled them. And he sold them into the hands of their enemies around about, so that they could not any longer stand before their enemies. Whithersoever they went out, the hand of Yahweh was against them for evil, as Yahweh has said, as Yahweh has swore unto them, and they were greatly distressed. Nevertheless, Yahweh raised up judges, which delivered them out of the hand of those that spoiled them. And yet They would not hearken unto their judges, but they went a whoring after other gods and bowed themselves unto them. They turned quickly out of the way which their fathers walked in, obeying the commandments of Jehovah, but they did not so. Do you hear that, my brothers and sisters? It said when Jehovah raised up judges to deliver them, to rescue them out of this situation, then these judges also tried to turn them back to serving Yah only and keeping his commandments as our forefathers used to do in their righteousness. Because it plainly states right here that we quickly turned from the way which our fathers walked in, meaning our fathers were submissive to Jehovah. They kept the laws, statutes, and commandments. But we, in our rebellion, in our stiff-neckedness, we chose to be rebels. We chose to basically spit in the face of Yah. We turned our backs on him. And we turned to other mighty ones that are not mighty ones at all. We turned to other gods that are no gods. Our forefathers did not know the gods that many of our people embrace today as God. Our forefathers didn't know them. Now I'm going to say some things that may offend you. As I say in many of my other videos, I'm not trying to offend you. I'm trying to share what the text states. And there's just a simple fact and truth that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob did not know Yahushua or Jesus. They didn't. They didn't worship all these gods that we have joined ourselves to. Now, in our wickedness, we have adopted many gods, and the text shows it, that we did wickedly and embraced the gods of the people that surrounded us. We embraced the gods of the people that we were exiled into the hands that we were turned over to for punishment. We started to adopt their ways. We adopted their gods as well. But God, in his mercy, will raise up judges, will raise up saviors to save his people, to rescue them. And at the same time, when they rescued them, they was also telling them, return to Jehovah. And returning to Jehovah also includes keeping his Torah, keeping his divine teachings and instructions. You cannot have one without the other. You cannot say you are returning to Yah, but I'm not keeping those commandments. It don't work that way, my brothers and sisters. So we have to understand, if you no longer want to experience what you are experiencing, many of our brothers and sisters think God is angry with us. And actually, he is. He is angry with us because many of us are not returning unto him. Many of us are not returning unto his Torah. Many of us are following Torahs of men. And Torah just means teachings and instructions. Many of us are not following the instructions of Yah. They are following the instructions of men as if it was Yah. We have to return to Yah. And that includes returning to his instructions. Hallelujah. Let's continue reading. Matter of fact, let me just read 17 again, because 17 is such a key verse. It's so powerful. And yet they would not hearken unto their judges, but they went a whoring after other gods and bowed themselves unto them. They turned quickly out of the way which their fathers walked in. What way did the fathers walk? obeying the commandments of Yahweh. That's how they walk. Their walk consisted of walking according to the instructions that Yah gave them. That's the way they walked. But it said, this new generation, this new people, didn't want to do that. They didn't want to worship. They didn't want to serve Yah. They didn't want to keep his commandments. Verse 18. And when Yahweh raised them up judges, then Yahweh was with the judge and delivered them out of the hands of their enemies all the days of the judge. For it repented Yahweh because of their groanings by reason of them that oppressed them and vexed them. And it came to pass when the judge was dead that they returned and corrupted themselves more than their fathers in following other gods to serve them and to bow down unto them. They ceased not from their own doings, nor from their stubborn ways. And the anger of Yahweh was hot against Israel. He said, because that this people has transgressed my covenant, which I commanded their fathers, and have not hearkened unto my voice. Now, many people say, I listen to the voice of God. I listen to the voice of God. And the voice they listen to, that they say is God, it could be God. God tells them so many things like what to wear, what they should eat. They have no problem listening to that. But it's weird how when God tells them to return back to my Torah, they don't want nothing to do with that. They will not hearken unto the voice of God. This is what they talk about. The voice of God is keeping that which he say. And it's when someone's instructing you that was sent by Yahweh to turn you back unto him and to the way, you don't want to listen. You don't want to pay it no mind. You want to be rebellious. And that is where many of our people are still stuck in. We are only perfecting the wickedness of our ancestors when they were wicked. We need to return back to when our ancestors walked in righteousness and they walked in the ways of our fathers. That's what we need to return back to. Because as soon as we do that, our redemption draws nigh. That is all I wanted to share at this time. This is your brother Yael Ezra Ben Levi. Shalom, love, and blessings, family. Till next time.